Alrighty, hello everyone. This is going to be a cell phone video of my, get on the right slide here, all right, of my presentation of a program evaluation for student success post-graduation of the Graduation Reality and Dual Skills program. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right. So what is GRADS? What is the GRADS program? It's a secondary education program for pregnant teens and teens that have already become parents. It's focused on positive self-esteem, pregnancy, parenting, academic achievement, economic independence, and it's really aimed at increasing graduation rates and is doing what this program can to help those students become not only both fully functioning members of their family, but society as well. And those skills that it focuses on kind of help them do that. Curriculum for this program is developed at a local level, so it's really school by school. There's no kind of national norm officially for the program outside of some guidelines they have set up, but it's really based on the need that individual school has at the time, as well as infant and child care being available to all parents going through the program by a licensed child care provider. So why is this important outside of the obvious? 40% of teen mothers finish high school. Of those 40%, it's way less that even go on to graduate college by 30. Young women who give birth while attending community college are 65% less likely to complete this degree when compared to women who did not have children during that time period. And then that goes on, the effects of this are felt even by the children themselves then, because these children go on and are 50% more likely to repeat a grade due to poor academic performance. And GRADS hopes to provide services that are going to allow for these teenage parents to provide for their children in any capacity they need to, both born and unborn. And those statistics were taken from a study done by the National Campaign to Prevent Teen and Unplanned Pregnancy back in 2010. Okay. The literature review I did for this was short because there wasn't a whole lot of literature on it. But this was a main one that came out very recently. So the Washington State Institute for Public Policy, or the WSIP, as I've seen people call it in videos that I've watched, they did what was essentially an outcome evaluation for immediately whether it helped high school graduation rates, and then the cost-benefit analysis for those individual school districts. And so they were looking at a whole bunch of things, and actually I was going to look at this as I pulled it up, so let me see if I can find it. Okay. Pull the graph that I had up. And where is it? There it is. Okay, so it's kind of small, but they were looking at tons of things. I mean, they were looking at education effects, labor market effects, healthcare-related effects, crime-related effects, cost of taxation. So overall, they found when comparing like national norms of students who might not have gone through this program anyway, a 3-to-1 benefit in favor of this, having this program when compared to the cost that it has that's incurred by these school districts that run the program. So they also looked at graduation rates. Schools that had these programs had increased graduation rates amongst pregnant teens and teen parents by 10.6%. GRADS increased college enrollment by 6.5% by the age of 24, so not necessarily right out of school, but for teen parents, once their kids become school age, then them being able to go back to school themselves once they've kind of had their kids start going to school as well. So that was kind of the main study that I looked at. And it was really comprehensive. There's a lot more in that study than what I just talked about here, but those were the main things that kind of related to my study and what I wanted to look at. And what I wanted to look at was, first of all, does the GRADS program increase college graduation rates amongst eligible students? We know they're going by the age of 24, but are they graduating? Are they finishing? Do they feel prepared that anyone can apply for school? Almost anyone can get in nowadays to some schools, but do they really feel prepared, like they're not being overwhelmed with everything going on in their personal life? Also, do students that participate in the GRADS program earn more annually when compared to students eligible for the program who did not participate? So basically, teenage parents, teens, dealing with teenage pregnancy, are they better off having gone through the program from a monetary standpoint as opposed to just being a number in the school district because they graduated high school? So, long-term question here, kind of the unofficial research question I'm trying to answer with these two is, we know it's worth it for the schools. That's what that study by the state of Washington confirmed. But is it worth it for the students from a monetary standpoint is kind of what I wanted to look at. Okay, so my design, I wanted to do a pre and post test design. which is going to show whether or not areas associated with research questions have been influenced due to enrollment, using a Likert scale associated with income and as well as multiple choice questions. So like I feel as though I'm prepared for college. I feel as though the GRADS program helps me to balance my personal and academic life so that I can be prepared for those things. Assessment is going to be conducted at the beginning and 4 years of the completion of high school graduation or GED. My sample population is going to be students eligible for the GRADS program. So teen parents, pregnant teens, those at-risk populations that we've talked about. And that population is going to be divided into 2 groups: students who participated in GRADS that were eligible, and students who did not participate in GRADS that were eligible. And then I said that there'd be a $50 stipend to cover the transcripts, which is, if applicable, which we're going to talk about in a second, as well as compensation for participation. And high school graduation, 60 credit hours from an accredited school or equivalent program. College graduation, same thing, 60 credit hours from an accredited school or equivalent program. That's going to be verified by students sending in those transcripts, which is going to be partially covered by that cost of that stipend. And it's going to run longitudinally to hopefully provide data on effectiveness/ineffectiveness of the GRADS program. Basically, did it work or not? Was it worth it? Some limitations of this design. It's not randomly assigned. Participants are going to place themselves in these groups. And there's also likely going to be a little bit of bias towards the students in that group A because they initially seeked out that help to help them cope with teenage pregnancy. If they have the drive to get that help initially, they're probably going to have the drive to be more successful later. I wanted to do interrupted time sampling initially, but this isn't really possible due to the fact that you would have no way of assigning measures before and after the program begins. Also, my definition of success is not exactly ironclad, and that's kind of up to interpretation. And there are 3 references that I use for this presentation. Thank you.